Welcome to episode 217 of the Radio Control Show, presented by Radio Control Car Action and Model Airplane News. Night flying is a lot of fun, and an airplane equipped with lights is a great way to impress a crowd. John Reed has some tips on LED strips so you can light up the night sky.
I use these stick-on lights, which are LEDs along a strip there, and they have a sticky back. This one here, these particular ones are made by Common Sense, or you get them from Common Sense, but you can get them from a bunch of different manufacturers. They have a single wire that you attach to the edge of the light depending on where you cut it, and then they also have a triple one that comes out of the battery so that it can go to 3 different lights. Now that's the case on this one. I have 3 different light sections here. I have the top is one color. I have it going across the top of the fuselage, so it outlines the top of the fuselage so I can see that easily at night. And on the bottom I have a different pattern here. Now the bottom pattern here is dressed up with white and green at the tips. And I put white on the bottom specifically so that I can reflect off the ground as I get close to it. But you see the green on each tip so I know which one. You could probably put different color tips too, so you know which tip is the right one it might be red or the left one is blue. I just don't think that far ahead. And on the top, you can see that I have purple here. So I have a totally different design on top than I do on the bottom, and that tells me what's top and bottom. And this also gives me a good indication as to what's on top and what's on the bottom. So as you can see with the lights off, this is a pretty bright plane, and you can see that the white reflects pretty good off my tabletop here, which it will do the same thing on the ground. And again, we have the 2 different colors across the bottom here. So at night, this plane is really dressed up nice, really looks good, and during the day it just adds to whatever design that you have on it. So try putting lights on your plane, do some night flying, or just enjoy the pretty lights during the day.
And be sure to pick up the September issue of Electric Flight to read John's custom corner column with even more tips and tricks for installing lights. RC Car Action's Aaron Waldron got his hands on the TLR-10 SCTE 2.0 and brings you a sneak peek at what the guys at TLR hope can bring back the Roar National Championship to their team. Here's Aaron with more.
I'm here at SDRC Raceway in San Diego, California with the brand new Team Losi Racing 10 SCTE 2.0. The original 10 SCTE was the 2011 Roar National Champion in the hands of Dakota Fenn, but TLR engineers and team drivers have come up with a few improvements to the truck and make it faster and easier to drive. The biggest change they made was to the chassis itself. They moved around a lot of the truck's components to shift the weight further back, and that gives the truck more rear traction and added steering. The new battery box is brand new. Now the battery sits right on the chassis on top of a couple foam pads, and this battery strap can be moved back and forth to further change the truck's weight distribution. And the front and rear shock towers are now made of carbon fiber with a new shock mounting location that helps you further tune the truck's performance to the track conditions. The truck is a lot easier to drive hard. The added rear traction makes it easier to rip the throttle coming out of corners. The truck just squats and goes instead of getting squirrely, and you can really tell that the truck changes directions a lot faster than the old truck did. For more information on the 10 SCTE 2.0, log on to our Facebook page at facebook.com/RCCarAction and let us know what you think of the new kit.
It may seem odd to call a 50cc plane mini, but the new Hangar 9 Cardin Edition Extra 300 is a smaller version of the legendary 150cc showstopper. Watch Michael York and Jason Benson put this aerobat through its paces. And don't miss the August issue of Model Airplane News for Michael's exclusive review of this impressive plane.
The Hangar 9 Cardin Extra 300 I guess for Carden, this is almost like a mini-size aircraft. It's only 89 inches in span, but a wonderful kit as typical from Hangar 9. Very easy to put together. The reason he's here is because he's more accomplished when it comes to 3D aerobatics than I am, so I don't think I could have done justice as far as my flying capabilities are. So.
Hi, this is Jason Benson doing the flight review of the Hangar 9 Carden Extra 300. Michael York did a great job of building this plane, or assembling, we should say. So we took the plane up, we did our normal, I did some precision type aerobatics with it, which is what Carden is mainly known for. They're big in the IMAC world, and this plane definitely lived up to that. Nice slow rolls, point rolls. The snaps were incredibly quick and crisp. Very, very good flying plane. We did some mild 3D with it, some rolling Harriers. Did a really nice slow flat spin that you should see in the video. Just great flying plane. Landed really well, nice and slow, controlled. No big surprises. I'm really looking forward to getting some more flights on this plane and getting comfortable with it if, Mike will let me.
I think so.
All right, cool. So definitely great flying plane for both precision and 3D type flying, and I really, really enjoyed it.
In this week's Tech Tip, Eric Reichert shows a quick way to replace the bushing in the top of your shocks.
If you've ever been out running at the park and hit something hard enough that you blew your shock apart, you know that there are a lot of parts that can get lost, one of which is almost always that little bushing that goes in the top of the shock cap. To fix this in a pinch, I keep a little bit of fuel line in my pit box. In a matter of seconds, my truck is up and running again. Start by cutting a segment of fuel line that's just the width of the cap so that it fits inside the hole flush. Then add a washer to the mounting screw, slide it into the line, and reattach it to the shock tower. The fuel line isn't a permanent fix, but it'll at least keep the suspension in place until you can get a new part and you won't have to cut your bashing short.
Celebrate the 4th with 50% off unique items at AirAgeStore.com. You can choose from the most comprehensive collection of products for RC enthusiasts. From how-to books, spiral guides, and special issues, to posters and planes, there is something for everyone and every interest level. That's 50% off July 4th to July 7th only.
Last weekend, RC Car Action partnered with Wolcott Hobby and Raceway in Wolcott, Connecticut to bring racers the first annual Psycho Cross Nitro race. The race featured an insane layout with big jumps, huge air, and incredible action. Here's Eric Reichert with more on the race.
Thanks, Amanda. Wolcott Hobby hosted what could be the next big East Coast race. Psycho Cross featured a very technical track layout with big air, high speeds, and tons of action. While the weather was hot, the racing was even hotter. Of course, RC Car Action was there to catch all the excitement. Here's a quick look at the super cool race.
Ride, trackers, ride!
Head to your local hobby shop or newsstand for the August issues of RC Car Action and Model Airplane News, or get it now on AirAgeStore.com, iTunes, Amazon, and BarnesandNoble.com. Thanks again for joining us on the Radio Control Show, and we'll see you next time.